Check, check. Shh. Okay, we're going to get started. If I could have everybody quiet down, take their seats, we'll get this meeting started. Okay. Shh. Good morning. Welcome to the meeting of your Los Angeles City Council.
President Long presiding.
Okay, well, that concludes our presentations for today. So now we'll move to public comment. Oh, no, wait, you have a presentation. Okay, which does not conclude our presentations. I was misinformed, which is very exciting. Heather Hutt has a presentation. Okay. You're pinch hitting for CD9, I believe.
Family's excited. My brother's excited.
Sorry about that. Councilwoman, welcome, and the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. Good morning, colleagues. Today, we proudly recognize a true trailblazer, someone who's been a symbol of grace, power, perseverance, not only in Los Angeles, but for the entire nation. Jane Kennedy is more than a star. She's a role model whose influence helped shape the narrative for African American women in media, sports, and culture.
But what saved me were my children. My children. And my husband. My husband, at one of my lowest times in my life, my husband called me. He was not my husband at that point. He was a friend. But he called me when all the other people were saying, we need to turn their backs on Jane because this is not what we expected of her. Bill came to me and he said, how are you? He didn't care about how the work was going. He didn't care about how people were seeing me. He wanted to know how I felt. And no one had ever asked me that before. How are you? How do you feel? And that was so powerful for me. It made me marry him.
It was a funny moment to watch your husband clear his throat at the proper moment to ensure the acknowledgement. I too am married to a funny man, and it takes a really strong man to be with a strong woman, and so I just wanted to give you the props for that.
Mr. Graebner, you can lead us off.
Okay, so you had a bunch of presentations today talking about labor and things like that. Well, you kind of left out while those labor groups were here about how the city is laying off hundreds of city employees who do vital work to keep the city running in order to give more money to the LAPD. And every single one of the council members either voted for it or did not vote for it because it didn't give enough money to the LAPD, even though the LAPD already gets $3 billion every year, and hundreds of city employees are getting laid off to give more money to the LAPD. And you left all of that out during your several presentations on labor today. So, yeah, just keep up the shitty work, it seems. You don't seem to be doing anything to help the community here. Restore call and comment.
Great, thank you. Thank you for educating us.
My name is America and I'm from South Central. I've come here today to speak about an issue impacting my neighborhood. As we all know, Los Angeles is a car-dependent city. However, there has been a frustratingly uneven ratio of parking of cars that does not make sense for the amount of cars in my neighborhood. Neighbors are left to compete over ensuring a parking spot, and we have to decide whether we want to leave the house and lose a parking spot or stay in the house all day. For example, the apartment across my house used to have a parking space in the back, and that was taken away to build more apartments, which brought even more cars and less space to put them. The area we have will only get smaller since now there's another apartment being built a few houses down from me, likely without parking too. If you've not experienced this issue, I ask you to recognize that this does affect our lives, and I urge you to put yourself in my shoes. Please don't forget about South Central. We are part of the city too, and we deserve to live like people, not a burden. You must help us solve this issue.
Great. Thank you very much.
There's precisely one reason that loads of people are not complaining about police nonfeasance, and that is because people are being terrorized by criminal gangs. This includes nice areas. Council members could quickly stop this police misconduct by writing a letter to the governor, but they won't, and they won't explain why. Second issue, Council members Rahman and McCosker have reportedly said that they'd prefer an appointed city attorney to an elected one. This is good news because it shows they aren't accepting legal opinions without question. The legal advice being currently offered is so bad that a child could tell. For starters, years ago, City Attorney Delgadillo wrote an opinion which unambiguously said that your new swear words rules are unconstitutional. You should know this, and so should the officers who choose to enforce these rules.
Next speaker.
Harriet Elliott. I want to read out of Ron Johnson. His book is 550 pages, and sometimes it'll sound just too technical, okay? But hopefully you'll like it. Oh, I want to go to the 5. Can you stop the timing? Because
You're on general public comment. That's the only thing open today.
Oh, okay. Beamforming technologies have been perfected to such an extent that it's nearly impossible to feel the beam penetration unless you place your hands in front of where it's targeting you for approximately 30 seconds. At that stage, your hand will begin to pulse and even hurt, and only then can you feel the slight sensation of the concussion waves hitting your skin as it attempts to correct its targeting solution. This is a test that works very well, and the concussion waves that you will feel will be Skynet, trying to readjust the beam for more effective offenders. By the way, you'll only have me reading this 1 minute every week.
Great, thank you. You're welcome to just submit the whole thing to the record for us, so you don't have to come and read it.
I am James Toney, and I stand for a city where everyone has a safe place to call home. I ask for the City Council to fight for affordable housing and to protect EHV Section 8, low-income housing tax credit, and all forms of affordable housing. I fight for the rights of immigrants and for the dignity of every LGBTQ+ person, especially our transgender neighbors. Our community is stronger when we protect the most vulnerable, and I will not waver in that fight. As Micah 6:8 reminds us, He has shown you, O mortal, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you? To act justly and to love mercy and to walk humbly with your God. Together we can build a city where justice, safety, and dignity are not privileges, they are for everyone.
Good afternoon, council members. Los Angeles continues to face a deep housing crisis, and families who rely on emergency housing vouchers are among our city's most vulnerable. By planning now to safeguard housing for these households, you are not only protecting residents from losing their homes if federal support lapses, but also strengthening our entire community. I urge you also to recognize and protect those who face overlapping vulnerabilities, especially transgender immigrants and transgender women. Trans women are among the most at risk of homelessness, violence, and discrimination, and we ask that this city to protect us with the same urgency and commitment. Housing is dignity, housing is safety, housing is life, and I ask you to boldly to protect emergency housing voucher households and to ensure that Los Angeles is a city where every resident, especially those who are marginalized, have the chance to live safely and thrive.
Public comment, that's what we got today. Public, when you hire clowns, you get a circus. I protest sleazy Marquise Dawson and the rest of these incompetent clowns, again, having absolute 0 items on today's agenda. None. Why? Because these clowns bankrupt the city, giving $1 billion increase to LAPD. The clowns won't take the money back because LAPD makes tremendous campaign contributions, especially to Sleazy Dawson, Monica Lewinsky, and Rodriguez and the rest. So they sit here grinning, giving presentations and collecting their $20,000 to $30,000 per month salaries while we have $1 billion budget emergency, tens of thousands homeless epidemic emergency, 275,000 fire damage emergency. I formally protest these stupid, no, they're not stupid. I formally protest the presentations, the mass incompetence of these clowns, and I demand Sleazy D's resignation.
I guess public comment. Okay, she's already started. Okay, quickly, I want to wish Miss Bass, our mayor, happy birthday, and she is a guardian angel. The other day when I watched as Mr. Curran Price, and Mr. Curran Price, you are my prayers. When I saw her jump into action, she was a superhero. You know, one of my favorite movie is Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, because there's a line in there where he says, all we need to do is show each other a little human kindness. And that's what she did. But sadly, as I watched her do her greatness, I saw another person on the front with his hands, and he looked back as Mr. Price is on the ground, and he doesn't know what's happening to him, looks at him, turns around, and makes sure that the person who was taking his picture, he was, you know, looking at him. I'm not going to pick on Mr. Lee today. God send us the little rain up in Porter Ranch, so I don't have to worry about.
Okay. Just to confirm, is there anyone else here who is here for public comment? Seeing nobody here, public comment is officially closed. What's next? It was an honor for me and my team to help lead Dr. Goodall in this body on April 3rd, 2019, which was part of a celebration of her 85th birthday. And she inspired me and so many others before me to speak up for those who were voiceless and who leave the world in a better way than we found it. As she said, quote, "The greatest danger to our future is apathy." My condolences go to her son, grandchildren, and the countless people whose lives that she's touched and continues to touch. May she rest in peace. Thank you, Jane. Any other adjourning motions? Seeing none, go out and serve the city. This meeting is adjourned.